G'day. So today me and Scooby want to talk to you about a little problem we come across while we're grad sailing. Inbreeding. We seem to come across, on occasion, what could be quite obviously mixed bloodlines, let's just say. You know, I'm not suggesting brothers and sisters. I don't know that sort of level. You know, years ago, when I first got to this, to Brisbane, right, I was working in the city. I had a shop in the Queen Street Mall. Well, me and a mate of mine did. We had, it was called Markets for Us, so we had like a stall in the city. Anyway, the guy that was the manager of this Markets for Us, he was from Upper Caboolture, and he hated it. And he's like, there's too much inbreeding. And I'm like, really? And he's like, I mean, this guy was fair dinkum. Now, I hadn't really been to Caboolture at the time, right? I knew about Deception Bay, because that's why I come up here, because my first daughter's mother ran up here with my daughter. And told me she would come for 2 weeks. 6 months later, rang me up and says, I'm in Deception Bay. I hung up fucking 3 times before I knew the place existed. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to the story of inbreeding. I think it's more prevalent now. Or maybe I just see it. I mean, I might be being judgy, right? I could be being judgy, I agree. But do you see it a lot? I mean, you're on the front lines of inbreeding. I don't mean because you spent a lot of time in Dolby. Okay, what I mean is you're on the front lines because you're with the backpackers. You're in the city. You know, you're with the, you know, with the crust, if you like, the crusty, dry bits of Brisbane. You know, so you see a lot of that sort of nonsense, really. So, do you feel, being on the cutting edge that you are, that there's more inbreeding now? What do you think? Or do we just notice it more now?
I haven't noticed it.
You have or you haven't?
I haven't.
You haven't noticed any more than normal, or you haven't noticed it at all?
I don't notice much stuff.
How well do you know your mother and father?
Pretty well.
You got to understand that we are an island, Australia, right? So that means it's not like anyone from anywhere else can come here. We're all here. That's why they bring all the imports in, I suppose. I don't know. All the imports. I'm an import. We're all imports. All those white fellas are imports, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, like, just today in particular, like today, well, I didn't want a video because it was too shocking. There was a bloke walking down the street, with another bloke, and he had him on a collar, you know, and he was like, you know, he wasn't on all fours, he was like skipping like this with his collar, and his head was bounced up and down. Now, normally you'd think that's unusual, wouldn't you? You know, but on this occasion, we were like, yeah, it is Saturday, the sun's out, you know, we've had a lot of wet weather, somebody needs to go for a walk. You know, like, I don't know whether that is inbreeding, or I don't know. It's a good possibility though. I knew this Jack, right? Now, he was definitely Scooby, where you going? You still didn't fucking shut the door properly. At least he didn't slam it, eh? Alright, let's go talk to Scooby about his inbreeding problem. Do you think in the future they'll have like genetic tests and stuff?
What do you mean?
Oh, to make sure that you know that there's what place is that in the world where there's limited people that live there? It's one of the Arctic sort of joints, right? And they have an app on their phone, right? So they go up to make sure that they're not cousins, because everyone's sort of like, you know, a small place. I mean, we're all related to Adam and Eve originally, aren't we? If you believe in the Adam and Eve stuff.
Yeah.
You know, women taking our ribs and stuff like that, which I believe. They were sort of related then, weren't they?
Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then it started. I mean, how did they have kids? And how did them kids have kids? I mean, there's got to be some inbreeding going on.
Didn't they have boys? Didn't they have 2 boys?
So they have bum babies. What are you talking about?
Didn't they have Abel and Cain?
Yeah.
Two boys.
Yep.
So.
So where did the rest come from?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's know in chat. We can't work it out. But we did have some. Yes, it was just a vibe today, you know, on the streets. People were. Is a full moon coming? I don't know, but there was just a not scary, unique. Let's call it unique. Unique. What do you reckon? Was it a unique sort of unique, something like that vibe? What sort of vibe did you get from today, Scooby?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so that's why we record things, because we don't know what's going on. So that's our Saturday morning. We bought stuff we didn't need. We won't make any money on it, and we're idiots. All right, see you guys. Bye.